Okay, so again, at some point I would go ahead and just stop this and work on your concept map now. Why? Because again, the whole purpose of a pre-assessment concept map is for you to self-evaluate yourself. Normally, back in the day, when we were back in the classroom, you would find that I'd be walking around the room looking at your individual notebooks. And some of you would be off and running. You'd be doing a great job. You feel very confident. And then some of you'd be sitting there, you'd have no idea what to do. Thing is, you just got to put down what you know. And what's going to be really challenging now is that I am not going to have eyes on your notebook. So I'm not going to have a good feel for which students in my class are getting this material and which ones aren't. So I'm really counting on you to self-promote yourself and drive yourself. Figure out ways to make yourself feel more connected and more, challenge yourself. Nobody's going to be around you seeing what you're writing down. It doesn't matter. So go ahead and try to do these things before we go on, okay? So hopefully at this point, you've stopped this. You've given yourself 5 to 10 minutes to try to come up with a concept map. What major terms should you come up with? I don't know. Choose whichever one you think would be best from there, or look at the unit title and see if you can pull something from there. That's what I would do, okay? All right, now let's go on. Now, this next slide, if I can get it to work. Okay, this next slide is basically giving you instructions of how to access something called CMAPS. Mr. Dixon has been using this, and I am so bummed I didn't start doing this from the beginning because it's really super easy. It's not hard at all. He's giving you the step-by-step method on that, how to make CMAPs. It's really more of how to access and download it to your computer, and then you can go into it and they have tutorials on how to use it. It's not that hard. He kind of gives you some hints along the way. It's really not difficult at all. And then when you get to the last of his slides, you'll see where he's highlighted in this 3-section component, the very last thing he highlights. That's going to be the URL that you are actually going to plug in to the discussion portion of the homework, so that on Canvas, so that I can access it. What that is the URL, which allows me to go and see what your concept map has turned out to be. Now, do you have to do this? No, but you'll notice here that I'm saying that if you aren't good at writing your concept maps in ink, which these are going to have to be in ink, you guys, I will not be able to read them if they're in pencil. So if you don't like doing a concept map in ink, if your handwriting is not clear, if it's challenging, if you, any of those reasons, or you just want to try doing something different, try it. I think you'll really like it. It's actually kind of cool. You'll see, you'll see it's very cool. Okay, so let's get going to our review. DNA and the central dogma. Central dogma is just talking about protein synthesis. Remember that when we're talking about it, you've done, prior to spring break, those learning opportunities, and one of them was creating the poster. And a couple of students were like, Ms. Lusky, are you going to grade those? No, I am not, but you do have to know all those steps. So if you really feel as though you would like to feel comfortable with it and you really would like to have an assessment of some sort, just go ahead and email it to me and I'll take a look at it. Again, I'm not grading them, but I am going to be expecting you to know this material when we go on to the next section. Okay, so it's not something that you can ignore. You really do have to know those things from those learning opportunities. So DNA, deoxyribonucleic acid, what I'd like you to do right now is I'm going to put this on pause. I'd like you to take a moment and I'd like you to list, write, and draw anything that you can remember about the structure of DNA. Good work.